Bad Saturday. What was going on there?
It was really it's kind of hard. There's really nothing I can explain it. Honestly, it was to the point where I just wasn't really feeling it at the moment. And that's all. That's all you can really say about that. You know what I'm saying? So this is a weird situation.
What did you? Just curious what you saw on that the one they ran back.
It was intentional. It was a previously run play. You know, I waved a little bit off and tried to throw a lookie out there to DeAndre. They run corner cat, and I saw it. All I had to do was get the ball over the top, but it's like my arm didn't cooperate with what my mind wanted to do, so it was just one of those deals.
What kick-started you? I mean, what got you past the slow start to the performance that you had? What changed?
Probably when they scored again. When it was at this point it was 24-10 maybe, something like that. And I was like, you know, in my mind I was like, you know, this just can't go on like this. If they would have scored again, you know, things probably might have got out of reach. But you know, in my mind, I'm gonna do everything in my power possible to not let the team get as far behind as can. And maybe that's kind of what we needed. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, but it's kind of I've been like that to a certain extent, like my whole career and my life. So, I mean, it's never to the point where we're out of the game though. So that's probably the best thing we saw from the team.
Coach Morris said he kind of sarcastically came up to you at that point and said, "Do I need to get Cole Stout ready?"
Yeah, and Coach Morris definitely does things a little unorthodox, but I mean, I hear it, you know, but at the same time, it's just something that you got to find inside yourself, and you know, a situation like that, that's kind of how you figure out what type of player you are and determine who you really are as a person and character-wise. And you know, I got a lot of support from the players, a lot of support from the coaches, but I mean, in times like that, you just got to dig down inside yourself and find out what you're really capable of.
Along those lines, could that have maybe been the most important thing about the other night, is that you turned what was bad into good, and maybe mentally you maybe had your strongest game of the year from that respect?
Probably so, because everything is still a learning process and a growth, you know, and you know, every game we played this season has been a different scenario. So hopefully it'll be to the point where eventually, you know, later on down the line, I've been in every possible situation, and that's just new to me at all. So it's still a work in progress, and we just got to keep working.
The three of the touchdown passes you threw, the one to Nuke and the two to Sammy, were put only where they could catch it. Are those also the kind of receivers where maybe you can throw kind of a difficult to grab ball, and you have that kind of confidence maybe in those two in particular?
Yeah, and like those guys are special players, and you know, we got receivers like that. You know, if you put the ball in a certain situation, they're going to catch it that some other guys might not make. And a lot of that comes from, you know, your confidence in them and what you guys have done over the summer and during the course of practice to figure out, you know, what they can do and what they can't do. And with guys like those two guys, there's nothing that they can't do. You know, you just got to put the ball in the situation. And it was to the point where it was either, I mean, I could throw it to either one of them or any three of those fade passes, and I was just, you know, there's a little bit more room to work with over here in a situation like that. So, you know, credit to both those guys, definitely.
Is it safe to say you've learned more about yourself as a quarterback going through a situation like that at a game, having to come back and kind of lead a charge like that?
Yeah, definitely. You know, and I hope it's a confidence builder for the rest of the team, you know, to know that, you know, no matter what type of situation we're in, you know, the offense is never going to let us, you know, just hang out there to dry. And a lot of that was on us, you know. The pick by me, you know, the punt fumble by Sammy, you know, it's just little stuff, kind of like gifts almost. And, you know, fortunately we were able to turn that around, and that's just something that just happened, and, you know, it was a positive that came out of it.
Is that kind of adjusting to the road? You know, different fields are structured differently. Maybe their field was a little bit different than the one you're used to playing on here. And yeah, I don't know what Virginia Tech was like, but I mean, is that all kind of part of the process?
Definitely. And the field was a little crazy, I'm not going to lie to you. And we keep getting these night away games, you know. 8 o'clock Georgia Tech, it's just like, man, what's going on? You know, but definitely looking forward to it. It's always a new task, whether it's away or home. And, you know, every team that we play, we're going to get their best shot, you know. So we just got to keep preparing and working, and hopefully things work out for us.
Tajh, talk about the confidence of the offense second half, 39 points. You completed 11 out of 12. Did you guys pretty much feel like you could score every time you got the ball?
Yeah, this offense is to the point where once we get hot, like we're rolling, and you know, hopefully this weekend is going to be another tough task. Great defense, and we got to get started earlier, you know, and that's something that we're going to work hard on this week and make sure the tempo is great, you know. the rhythm is right and just take it from there. But you know, so far we've been a really great second half team, and it's still searching for that whole complete games, offense, defense, and special teams wise. And you know, it's coming sooner or later.
Was it hard not to pay attention to BCS standings when they came out? I mean, it's obviously something that's going to be out there and people are going to be talking about. You know, how do you stay away from that so it doesn't distract you too much?
Because of games like the ones that we just had, you know, the rankings don't really mean anything to the end of the season. Like later on, when it's time for Bulls to come out, you know, right now we're 7 weeks into the season and still got a lot of football left to play. So every team that we play, we're capable of winning and we're capable of losing. So we just got to take it from there and just not get complacent.
Sounds like you're a little jealous or whatever that all the road games are at night and you don't get any at home.
Can't get a home night game for anything. It's like I was expecting us to have an orange out or a purple out or something. You know, it's just one of those things. People come up to me and ask me that all the time, and I was just like, I don't know. You know, it's kind of one of those deals. But you know, whether it's a night game, you know, away or home, it's definitely an exciting atmosphere, and we definitely feed off of that. So, you know, we got another one coming up soon, so we're definitely looking forward to it. But, you know, we really just got to focus on this week of practice and get ready for North Carolina.
Were you pain-free Saturday night, the kickoff, and were you 100% pain-free, or was there still some remnants?
I was pretty pain-free. It was a little stiff here and there, but for the most part, I was 100%.
You're convinced that didn't contribute to the rocky start?
Not at all. It's just me coming out kind of flat. You know, it's just one of those deals, and just something you have to overcome as a quarterback. And you know, coaches do a great job of believing in me, having confidence in me to go out there and finish strong. And that's one of the strongest attributes that they have as coaches. So I feel like, let's say it's another part of my process of growing, and just excited about the future and how we continue to grow.
How surprised were you when you were down 34-17?
To the point where I was like, I mean, I never felt like we were in jeopardy losing the game at all because it's a big play offense and the type of players that we have. But I mean, you know, it's kind of to the point where it's just like, you know, they're not going. And then when they scored again, when we scored, you know, we was like, we just got to keep scoring. You know, the defense is going to get a stop. And, you know, we're going to have to capitalize on those situations. And you know, great team. They were a great team. You know, great offense. You know, defense played well. And you know, I just feel like we persevered in the end. But I mean, it's just a learning process, you know, from the whole team. And I'm not comparing this team to Auburn at all of last year's, but they were in a lot of tough situations last year as well. And to see those guys do it, you kind of, in your mind, it's like, you know, during the game, it's like, man, I feel like Auburn was down like 6-7 games last year they were down 24 to Bama, you know. And you don't want to compare yourself to that team, but I kind of see some similarities in the type of player structure that we have and everything of that nature. So we just got to keep pushing.
What kind of advice has Coach Morris offered to get you starting out faster in the game?
Preparation during the week. You know, whether it's, you know, studying the opponent or just focusing when you got there. Sometimes, you know, you got kind of get a look at everything else around you, not focused on that one moment that you kind of like just let it go. And you know, you just got to go out there and just compete at all times. Things are never going to go perfectly at all. You know, I haven't seen, you know, one game where I've seen just somebody perform perfectly, but I mean, you just got to keep pushing the issue and just working. So all you can do is just keep working through. It's really, you know, as the saying really goes, it's not really how you start, how you finish. And I really firmly believe that, because if we would have started off hot and then lost the game, it would have been a totally different situation. So, I mean, the best part about it is, you know, Coach Sweeney has this kind of saying, it's like 60 minutes or as long as it takes to win the game. And we believe that as a team as well. And, I mean, you can see that coming along, and that just shows the maturity of the team growing each week.
What's been the key to developing some chemistry that you've developed with Sammy?
Probably just being around him, hanging out with him. You know, I really do feel like off-the-field relationships have a lot to do with on-the-field relationships as well. And, you know, you start to every week, you know, trust your guys more and more. And, you know, he's really stepped up to that role. I mean, freshman or not, you know, he's definitely a mature guy and a spectacular player, one of the best in the country. And, you know, you just got to get in the ball, man. So, great players, you got to keep working. And we all have a lot of work to do as a whole, but, I mean, I really feel like we have a special team.
do you also have a better sense for what he can do now through 6-7 games? Because the 2 touchdown passes he threw to him were really only in a place where he could get him, where he could go up and kind of snatch him.
Yeah, and that's a little. And every week you find something different that he can do. It's not something that I've thrown to him earlier this year. You know, I don't think I threw a fade this year, honestly, in the red zone. And you know, when you got guys like that, you can kind of just find out what they're doing. Each week you find more and more confidence in them, and know that in those dire situations, those clutch situations, you can go to.
Guys, you talked about the off-field relationship. I know you and Mike built a good relationship this summer when he arrived. What are you telling him now to kind of help him through his hard time?
The time is coming. The thing is, like, for any guy that comes in such highly touted, and then, you know, things aren't going the way they want them to, I mean, you just got to take your time with it and be patient. It's one of the things I stressed to him as well. I mean, I got a chance to room with him on the road this past weekend, and really great kid, you know, but just, you know, he's decided wants to do well, and his time really will come, but right now he just got to keep working and just keep learning.
Andre running like he was Saturday night, did you notice Maryland defense having to commit more bodies to take him away and open some things up for you?
Yeah, definitely. And that was a great game, and a pivotal part of our season right there with that running game. You know, offensive line did a great job. Andre, I mean, looked really well. I mean, cut and running, vision. And, you know, this is a game that we needed from an offensive standpoint. You know, the confidence builder as a whole, and definitely proud of the way the guys pushed through that. If something's not working at first, then another phase is going to step up, you know, and that just shows, you know, like I said, the growth of the offense as well, you know, that we don't have to just rely on one thing, you know, so definitely proud of the way the guys handled the situation and just pushed through.
Chet said he was excited to see that one game develop like that, and the passing game is prolific as it's been.
Right, and it's because people get to the point where it's like a stigma that, you know, we really are a pass-first offense, and you know, it wasn't intentionally like that. It was more of a run-first offense, run-based offense, and you know, the more we continue to press through that barrier, you know, the more explosive the offense can become, and you know, it's a work in progress. It's steadily coming along, and I feel like it was a confidence booster for the offense as a whole.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how upset do you think Mike Bellamy is about not playing?
Can't really tell you. You know, Mike is, you know, is a really great guy, and I mean, it probably is frustrating. I mean, I can honestly say I was frustrated my first couple of years here too, but we got like a group of people that surrounds you, and you know, helps you get through the problems and everything like that. Then you know, it really makes it that much easier. And you know, he has so much talent, you know, and you know, he's just got to keep working. Things are gonna work out for him. We just got to keep pushing.
Anything else for Tajh?